Look at how they crawl.
Oh my god, Ryuk's voice actually scared me so bad. Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. My bangs were annoying me today, so I pulled them back. We got some little bit of makeup going on, little dark theme, because we are reacting to the Death Note musical. So I'm just going to be listening to the English concept album, the one with Jeremy Jordan, and I will be looking at the Wikipedia plot synopsis in between songs just to fill in the gaps. I have seen the Death Note TV show, but as far as I understand, there were some differences made kind of to fit everything into a musical because you have significantly less stage time. So that's what we're gonna do. Tell me if there's a better way to go about it, if there's like a script or like a specific recording of a production that I should watch, because I can react to that as well. I don't know how much is going to make it into this video as opposed to a sequel video. So if this is only part one, stay tuned for part two. So apparently the first song is Where's the Justice, which is the only song in this musical that I have heard. Actually, I think I've heard one other song, but I don't remember what it's called and I wasn't paying attention to the lyrics. But I do know Where's the Justice and I love it. And I also got jump scared when I first heard it because I was like, oh, this is a cool song. That's Jeremy Jordan singing, right? What is this from? I look at him, I'm like, since when was Jeremy Jordan in a Death Note musical? But
Real people need to feel protected here.
what I can say is this song is an absolute banger. I love it so much. I'm curious if the other songs will be in a similar style.
About the victims, waiting for some justice.
I would like to say, Light's motivations in their song seem different than his motivations in the TV show. In the TV show, he basically just decides every criminal is evil. Even the ones already sentenced to, you know, this video is gonna have trouble anyways. Death. We're just saying it. If YouTube gets mad at me, oh well. This is Death Note. We kind of have to say the word death. So, in the TV show, he's just killing all criminals. You know, it starts with like extreme criminals and goes to like anyone really. But this seems like he's frustrated with the law for letting criminals go free, which we do actually see. We know he does that sometimes in the TV show because the person who murdered Misa's parents was probably going to get free during that trial. That's what she said. And before the trial ended, he died of a heart attack. AKA, Kira killed him. AKA, Light killed him. And that's what made Misa a Kira worshipper. This seems like he's more focused. We'll see what happens when he actually gets his hands on a Death Note. But before he's even seen a Death Note, he's upset about the fact that, you know, if you're rich, you have the money to get a better lawyer. And you have this public image and people are more likely to believe you than the victim, which is very interesting and honestly kind of more scary, I would say, because I think this makes Light more of a relatable character, which is not good because bro's a serial killer. Also, I would just like to say, I am a huge Light fan as a character. How can I put this? I love Light. I do not love Kira. And on this channel, basically all opinions are welcome as long as you are respectful of other people's opinions. The one rule though, is that you don't want to harm other people. And using the Death Note would be harming people. That would be killing people. So if you think that Light is justified, or if you're one of those people who say like, oh yeah, in 2026, we really need Light Yagami. No, we don't need Light Yagami. We need a version of the Death Note where if you write someone's name in it, they get locked up behind bars for the rest of their life. And escape is impossible. And they'll never be able to pay their way out. And they'll never be able to hurt anyone again. That's the kind of Death Note that we need. We don't need one that kills people, because then how are you any better than the people that you're killing? Which is brought up in the TV show, and I feel like some people don't really listen to that part when Light is like, I'm gonna create a world free of murderers. And Ryuk's like, well, there will be one. And Light's like, oh, that doesn't count. But it kind of does, because he becomes the person with the most body count. Like, he has killed the most amount of people, even though he's killing people who kill people. So let's continue. Sorry for that little tangent.
The world's not black and white, the choice not either or.
That! The world is not black and white. That is something I think more people need to understand.
It's time we drain the color from it then, till we're back to seeing black and white and wrong and right again.
And you see, Light has a very defined sense of justice. You do wrong, you're wrong. You do right, you're right. There's no in between. And I would really, honestly, I'd love to see a little more of that in the TV show of if Light believes anyone can be redeemed. Like, what if someone, as a teenager, I'm trying to think of something that's like bad but not insanely bad. I feel like he starts killing people who just do like robbery, right? So maybe as a teenager, you like rob some kind of store, you like break the glass, break in, maybe you hurt the owner, like you knock them unconscious and they have to go to the hospital, but like they survive. And then you realize what you did was wrong. And then you grow up, let's say you're very rich and you start donating all this money to these causes to help troubled teens so they don't do what you did. Or to like feed the poor, to help in countries that like need help after natural disasters. I wonder if Light Yagami would still kill you. This is the part that I had first heard. It's about to come up.
Corporations make the regulations.
And unfortunately, Light does make some good points. Sometimes the law system is flawed. I don't think the answer is murder though, but he's not entirely wrong, which is why it makes his like justifications for his own actions very different than in the TV show, because he's really not talking about the justice system at all. He's just like, you're evil, you die. Like I said, we see with Misa that he does actually care about that, but he never talks about it directly. That song is going to be hard to beat as my favorite. If you want me to do a tier ranking of all of the Death Note songs after I finish reacting to them, comment below and I will make it happen. So we're going right into the next song called They're Only Human, where Ryuk and Rem are going to talk. That's what I'm getting off of the Wikipedia. So that's very interesting that we are introducing Rem earlier. I think this is a good way to kind of introduce the Shinigami ideas and Rem as a character, because she kind of just like pops up along with Misa later on, and in a musical it is good to establish things early on so that when they come up later, the audience isn't left like confused and wondering what's happening. Establish everything at the beginning and then like kind of follow up on it later while slowly introducing some new things.
Look at how they crawl.
Oh my god, Ryuk's voice actually scared me so bad, but that's pretty accurate for him. He's kind of scary.
Isn't it a shame thinking there is someone in heaven to blame?
And Ryuk here is saying, isn't it funny how they don't understand anything? And Rem is saying, well, it's kind of sad that they don't understand anything. And so we're setting up not all Shinigami are the same, and kind of the differences between Ryuk and Rem. Are they foils of each other? Like, are they different enough to be foils? I wonder if the internet knows. Yes! I was right!
They push and they shove. With this thing they call love.
We had Rem saying the love line. Oh, isn't that ironic? With this thing they call love, as if she doesn't understand it. I see the foreshadowing. Actually, I do have a question. Earlier on, I think it was Ryuk said something about like thinking someone's gonna like meet them in heaven, but like not actually. But in the TV show, I'm pretty sure heaven and hell do exist, because it says any human who uses the Death Note, once they die, they will go to neither heaven nor hell. So I wonder if that is still true. Maybe they're just saying like heaven isn't as great as humans think it is, or it's not really how it's described in the Bible. I haven't actually read the Bible. Don't come at me, okay? If I say something inaccurate, I'm sorry. Because Death Note actually has some like very religious undertones, which I find very fascinating. Okay, so right at the end of that song, Ryuk drops his Death Note. Light finds it in the street and jokingly writes the name of a criminal that is currently holding a group of children hostage. Okay, exactly like in the TV show, Change the World. That is our next song. Okay, I might have found it. However, it's a live recording, so I don't really know what this is from, but it's the next song that it says is in the show, according to Wikipedia. Okay, I think I figured out why I'm having trouble. According to Genius Lyrics, Change the World is the third song, blah, 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 blah. Although not released in English, the original script, which has all the musical songs, even the ones that weren't released, was made public. A civilian psychopath? Actually, Light, that would be you. I don't like this song as much as I have enjoyed the others. The countdown is really cool, like from the ensemble. I do like that. When the criminal dies, Light is initially horrified until his hatred of criminals prompts him to use the Death Note to rid the world of crime, beginning a series of murders that quickly attracts the attention of the police. Hurricane. That is the song. In the eye of a hurricane, there is quiet. Is this song going to start when he's horrified? Please let this song go from Light being like, I will never use this, to like a serial killer. I want a song of his downfall into insanity so freaking bad. That is why I find Light such a fascinating character, is because like he thinks what he's doing is right, even though we as the audience can hopefully clearly see that it's wrong, but we can also see why he thinks that he's right, and it's just such genius character writing. I also need it on record that I binged all of Death Note in under 48 hours. And it was really weird watching the first episode when in my real time, Light had just been an ordinary high school student less than 48 hours ago. I would not recommend. It did some weird things to my brain for a few days. I'm really enjoying this so far, just like musically as a song. Kind of just how I really like Where's the Justice just as a song. Okay, I was hoping for that music to build a little bit more. My guess is there's a little mini scene here that the music has to skip over in the soundtrack. I could be wrong. Please tell me if I'm wrong. That's just my guess. That's what a lot of soundtracks do. But also my guess as to where this song is taking place in Light's kind of journey. Or wait, we started here last time. Okay, this is him being a normal high schooler. I think this is where he starts, right? Then he's like, crap, I killed someone. What the heck? Wait. Hang on. And this is where the song is starting. So it's not starting here, it's starting here. Because he doesn't seem to be distressed, he seems more intrigued. Now he's over the edge. I would have preferred for it to start here and like spend the whole song building. And this is where he is at the very end. Ooh, you know what it's like? Monster in Epic the Musical. That's what I'm looking for. We'll see. I won't judge the song until it's done, but that's what I would love. And he just described his actions as righteous, which is more like the Light I remember from the TV show. Bro's got a weird sense of everything in his mind. And there we have his God complex with I am the mighty hurricane. He wants to be this change. He wants to be the one that everyone worships. And that's ultimately his downfall. I love Light as a character. Like, he's written so well, what the heck? There we go. I was waiting for when he would declare himself God. Okay, not everything I wanted it to be. It was really good at first, and then it literally just started repeating the same chorus over and over and over. And yes, I know the chorus is supposed to repeat, but there were no verses in between. It was literally just his like thing about like the hurricane and like human stains, just over and over and over. So that was boring. I really liked it at the beginning though. Like I really liked it. It just started repeating a part that I liked over and over and over and over to the point where I got bored of it. He does go pretty fast though, I'm gonna be honest, in the TV show. He's fine and then he's like, oh, cool, okay. So he kind of just goes like that real fast. So that's pretty accurate. Okay, now it looks like we have a big chunk of scenes. So I'm just gonna read it. Ryuk, amused that the people's hero is no more than a bratty teenager, that's funny wording, reveals that he didn't choose Light for the task and merely dropped the Death Note out of boredom. And then this is the song, Kira.
So from time to time my vision, seeking fun and self-defense.
And we do know in the TV show, it's kind of hinted at in these lyrics, that Death Notes have been dropped into the human world before. But we do know that Light is the only one who's taken a liking to it that fast and killed so many people so quickly. Like within the first couple of weeks, Ryuk is like, you've killed more people than I've ever seen anyone with a Death Note kill before. And Light only just keeps going.
Don't know he's like Yagami, playing his danger.
Yagami? Is his last name not pronounced Yagami? I swear, in the TV show they say Yagami. Am I losing my mind? It's Light Yagami, right?
Why do you tear things apart?
So this is really leaning into Ryuk's and the other Shinigami's kind of disgust for humans, which I think Rem is really going to foil when she dies to protect Misa, a human. Because Ryuk is saying, we like watching you guys tear yourselves apart and be awful. He wasn't that blunt about it in the TV show. He was kind of just like, you guys are so entertaining.
You think you're making...
Something about this music is giving me a callback to Where is the Justice. I don't know if it's like a motif kind of slowed down a bit, if it's an instrument, there's something that's giving me a little bit of a callback to that, which I like quite a lot.
Who makes a list of people whose names are...
I'm getting bored again, because they're just repeating the chorus with like no change. No change in the pacing, no change in anything. There's a little bit of changes in the lyrics here in this one, but it's still mostly the same.
Right down and... Oh, look now, there's an apple.
Yeah, that ending is in character for Ryuk. That would probably be a little strange to anyone who hasn't seen the TV show. I'd be like, why is he just cutting it off the song for apples? But Ryuk from the TV show would absolutely cut off his own song for apples. Okay, Light and Sayu attend the concert of the famous idol Misa Amani, who dedicates her performance to Kira. This is new. Let's see how this goes. I'm very excited. This is what I'm saying about like musicals need to set things up differently. They need to introduce characters more smoothly. They need everything to kind of just like come together and follow the same course and not change locations too much, because you can't switch between two different scenes back and forth to show the parallel unless they're both happening on stage at the same time, spot up, spot down, you know, kind of thing.
Well, they say I'm too young, and they call me a fool.
Okay, it's funny, she started singing and I was like, huh, her voice sounds kind of old to be playing Misa, and her first line is, well, they say I'm too young. But I'll give her a chance.
But this world is all that I've got.
Honestly, not the singing style I would have expected from Misa. It's unexpected. Not necessarily a bad thing, just not what I was expecting.
But together we not.
I'm glad they picked up the pace, because if the whole song had been that slow, I might have had to stop this video. I would have gotten so bored.
If you're ever afraid, you can just sing me.
Her whole song being about love is very fitting. I am getting bored, I will say. It is doing that thing where it is just repeating stuff we have already established. Time to move on and introduce us to something new.
Baby, I can love you. Come on over here now. Are you ready?
Okay, now we're rapping. This is really, I don't know. It's not, the lyrics are giving Misa, but the voice and the music are not giving Misa. Of course, this is a performance, so I would be curious if then maybe she has like a, like, romantic, like, stereotypical, like, Misa Amani song to Light later on. And this is just sort of like her stage persona. Okay, I did pop into the comments, and apparently in the musical, she's a J-pop singer. Yeah, the style makes a whole lot more sense now. I needed that context. Afterwards, when Sayu mentions that she believes Kira's actions are wrong, Light asks what she would say to Kira if she met him. He is left stunned by her response. She would tell him to stop, declaring that he should follow her brother's example. I wish that was in the TV show. That is genius. What? What? That is genius writing. I would love to see the internal conflict Light has there, you know, when the screen like freezes and Light is like illuminated in red and we see his thoughts. Okay, I am back again. I had to go feed my cats. Afterwards, a news broadcast announces that the FBI agents have sent several agents to Japan, prompting Light to find the identity of one agent, Haley Bell, Hallie, on his fiance's social media profiles. Writing Bell's name in the notebook, Light specifies that they meet at Shinjuku Station, where the agent writes the names of his colleagues onto the Death Note scrap before unaliving himself. So I'm curious why the musical didn't use Rei. I don't know. Musical isn't everything I wanted it to be, but it's something, so... Okay, I cannot find Hurricane Reprise anywhere. I don't think there's a recording of it. I looked up the lyrics. It's literally just the chorus of Hurricane again. Upon learning the deaths of the FBI agent, the task force is torn between their duty to capture Kira and fear of being killed. The chief gives each man the opportunity to leave, prompting one to quit the case. Change the World Reprise. Will this reprise exist anywhere? I don't know. Okay, I found the lyrics, and Matsuda is in it. I genuinely cannot find a recording of this song. It exists, apparently, on Apple Music. I don't have Apple Music. Okay, I cannot find it anywhere. So we're just gonna assume that it doesn't exist as a recording for now that I can access, and we're just gonna look at the lyrics. So I think the task force is kind of starting the way that it does after a bunch of people leave in the TV show. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, Matsuda says, guys, I love him. We all must do what we must do, and to our truest selves be true. This will no doubt be my last case. Is he saying that he thinks he's going to die, or he's like gonna retire after this, or they later begin breaking the law? Like the Kira task force like retires out of, they turn in their badges and they're not police officers anymore, and they just start breaking the law and stuff. So like, you know, they're not really gonna get to work on cases after that, so maybe it has to do with that. I don't really know. I just thought that was interesting and I should point it out. Clearly the song exists because I found the lyrics. I just can't find a recording of it. Okay, Light and Elle listen from different locations as the citizens praise Kira, with the detective vowing to bring him to justice. Where's the justice? They are foils of each other. Suddenly a second death note falls from the sky and is discovered by Misa, who has just fled from a stalker's clutches. Where's the justice? Reprise. Is this the stalker who is going to end her when Jealous wrote the guy's name in his death note and died to give Misa more life? Is that stalker? Because that would be a cool little thing. Where's Justice Reprise? And then where's Justice Reprise 2? I can't find any of the reprises anywhere. Okay, I think I might have found Where's the Justice Reprise 1. It's a live recording similar to the one for that other song earlier that I had trouble finding. So now we're seeing why the public sides with Kira, which I think is very important. And this is also kind of what I was talking about. Everything builds as the Act 1 finale, which is why I really wanted to find some kind of recording of this song, because I would really like to hear like the instruments and stuff, not just look at the lyrics for the Act 1 finale. Like that's big in theater. Oh, I like when things do this where they have like one word that everyone sings. So everyone is singing Kira, and then Elle continues the sentence with like, so everyone goes Kira, and then Elle says, is narcissistic. It's his fatal flaw. Which, okay, banger line in it of itself, but it's kind of how everyone agrees with the Kira part, and then Elle has like his own part. It's just something musically that I really enjoy. And at the beginning, Light was asking, where is the justice? Now he's saying, I am the justice. But Elle is also saying, I am the justice. So we end Act 1 with Misa getting the death note, which is a great way to end an Act 1, just musically structured. I did like that song better than the others because, you know, it was a reprise of my favorite song in it. Okay, so I'm going to end this video here after Act 1. I've been filming for a while, and I don't really think I have enough time to film it all today, and I think this is a natural pausing spot. So stay tuned for the part 2. If you like this video, please consider subscribing because, you know, I'll be making a part 2, and if you turn notifications on, you will be notified when that video drops. Other things you can do to help support my channel is liking the video, sharing the video, and leave a comment. Let me know if you liked the show. Let me know what your thoughts are on Light and Elle and all the characters in Death Note. Who is your favorite Death Note character? And do you like the musical, and do you think it does the TV show justice? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.